Hello, hello. It is Direct Mail Monday, August 20th, 2018. Steve Sipress here. Made my weekly trip to my mailbox. Got a bunch of stuff. Let's see what we got. Now, the pile looks bigger. It is bigger than usual, but that's really just because of one special piece that I'm going to save till the end. And so let's get started in no particular order with a very random and mailed to some previous name that must have lived here before that isn't me. Katie something or other with, Geico can save you money on insurance. Like, okay. So you might want to clean the list, right? Old names, not interested. We're happy with our insurance. And even if we weren't, you got to realize when you're marketing a necessity, everyone already has it. So the only reason somebody would switch is got to be really compelling. And the amount of time that it takes to switch auto insurance with all the questions and answers and filling this out and getting this back and whatever, that time is worth a certain amount of money depending on who the individual is, right? So the more affluent somebody is, the more their time is worth. So the same half an hour it might take to fill out all the forms, if you're talking to someone, a billionaire, that's worth so much money that they would never switch their insurance for less than $100,000, right? But to somebody who's broke, man, they would take 2 hours to switch their insurance to save $10. So in my case, not taking the 30 minutes to save whatever I could save or even check it out. Okay, next. Interesting. This is sent to the person named Michelle Steve Sipress. Interesting. My beautiful wife, Michelle, that's her name. Apparently now her middle name is my first name, and Sipress, and we happen to be Sprint customers. And this is sent from, I don't know what that is, Asurian, and then Sprint. Maybe that's a big corporation that bought out Sprint or something, and the key word here is it's introducing Sprint. Well, we're already Sprint customers, so maybe this is something new, this Sprint Complete that we don't have, but unless you acknowledge and say, hey, thanks for being a customer, here's a special offer, or dear customer, we want to introduce you to something, and this just appears like junk mail, and it is pre-sorted first class, although they could be sending out tens of thousands of these to their customers, but they ought to say to the customer. I'm just going to assume it's junk mail and throw it out, even though if they did a better job of getting me to open it, they might have some kind of compelling offer to me as a customer, and to my beautiful wife, Michelle, actually, since it's sort of addressed to both of us, that we might have done something. So maybe on the next attempt they'll do it better and we'll open it. Speaking of which, what is this thing all about? Those that have been following this. Oh, and Alex is here, Coach is here, and Gloria's here. Great seeing you. You know that recently I switched the address from my deceased mom, Lynn Sipress, who passed away about 3.5 years ago. And I'm the administrator of the estate, so I switched the address and had stuff sent here, and she's been receiving a whole bunch of new mover stuff. Hey, there's a new Lynn Sipress. Like, no, there's not. And so this thing doesn't acknowledge it's to a new mover, but it is addressed to my mom, and it's from the Mountain Vista Medical Center, which I guess is a hospital. It's a hospital around here. It says a Stewart Family Hospital. I don't know, I don't think they got any demographics on my mom when they get a list of new movers or even just a list of people in the area. Kind of ironic, right? My mom passed away from stage 4 brain tumor cancer about 3.5 years ago, so a little late for hospital care for my mom. So whatever it is, not interested. Next. And by the way, this is a fairly substantial piece. I mean, fairly. Not really, but it's fairly heavy. It's cost some money to produce. Likely they paid a lot of money to the copywriter and the layout, and they thought they got everything right. But if you don't get it opened, nobody sees it. Next, customary. Do we get one of these every week? It's the junk mail flyers of, save 50 cents on something, and save $1 on a Big Mac, and things are falling out all over the place. Instantly save $20 on a prescription. If I did drugs, that might be interesting to me. A lot of people around here in Arizona do a lot of drugs. Come here to retire and they love drugs. I do not, but that might be a good thing to put in here. However, sent to me, not interested. Next, something else sent to my mom. again, I gotta say, time waits for no one. Like, again, this is why you get a 1% response with direct mail, you're happy. Like, in that 99% is going to be deceased people who your message, of course, sometimes is ironic, like from a hospital, or time waits for no one. Like, is this about some kind of insurance? Or sounds like it, or something. Smart move not putting a name of a business on the return address. So A, it's supposed to seem like it's personal, and it's like from a person. Problem is you have a suite number, so obviously it's from a business. Second of all, it's obviously from a business. You put a meaningless slogan down here, and you typed it all out, and you have this barcode printed out, and you put a bogus bulk rate stamp on it. So, interesting attempt to, I'm going to think it's not an attempt to make it seem personal. It's simply an attempt to do what's called sneak up, what I'm going to call, and a lot of people call sneak up mail, where you don't say where it's from. So you're kind of sneaking up with a message. Somebody has to open it to find out where it's from. Now, normally I just toss this, but just to show you, let's see what this meaningless slogan, time waits for no one. Anybody have a guess? Tony Severino's here. Great seeing you. So, anyone have a guess? Time waits for no one. What could that be? What kind of business? Time waits for no one. Because it could be just about anything. Could be tickets to an event. Timing, the event's coming and it's going to wait for no one. Could be something to do with, it sounds to me like some kind of insurance. Time waits for no one. It's so stupid a saying I can't even think about it, but let's, out of curiosity now. And by the way, I don't suggest that you want people opening your direct mail with the attitude, let's see how stupid this thing is. Okay? You want them opening with some kind of positive expectation, like, holy crap, that sounds great. Let's see what this is all about. So we had time waits for no one. And if that's not good enough, the headline is time stands still for no one. So, and now we're getting an idea that it is something death related because we got an angel on it. Maybe it's from a funeral home. So it's about pre-planning for a funeral. Yep, it is. I see here, it's take the time to make your cremation pre-arrangements. Again, extremely ironic when it is addressed to my mom, who passed away 3.5 years ago. Just thought I'd share that. Next, also, now this one's interesting. We had an interesting one last week, those that follow along. Tony says life insurance. Yeah, funeral plot. Exactly. That was my thoughts exactly. Something about death. All right, and it was. You're correct. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Of course, anyone that knows Tony knows he's a winner, even if you got that wrong. Okay, next. But you know what I meant. We have a winner of the on-the-fly sort of contest. All right. If you follow along, last week I received something from, I thought somewhere in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, somewhere in Alabama or something that was addressed to my mom, and it was a new mover thing, and it was simply to a car dealer, to people with bad credit, which shows, again, no pre-screening, no demographics. My mom never borrowed money for anything and she had her home paid off, and she had the most perfect credit in the world. And the only thing she did is she had to once in a while get like a store card and charge something just to make sure she kept a credit rating. But it was to take over payments, a $37 acquisition fee car deal. And so this one is interesting to me. I'm like, another one from some crazy thing in the South? This one's from Kennesaw, Georgia. And again, sneaking up. We don't know the name of the business. And it's addressed to my mom. And here we have the old open immediately, important information enclosed. So you got to love that, because people that's known as a trigger. Okay, that's known as a trigger. We're conditioned that just because somebody says it's important, we believe it. So tell people your stuff is important. Tell them that it's urgent. They'll believe it. Is it important? I doubt it. First of all, it's not important to my mom because, again, my mom passed away 3.5 years ago. But would it even be important to me or whoever else happens to live here that would get this if it was delivered and my mom is not the recipient? Is it important? Well, it's standard pre-sorted. So it's going to everybody under the sun. But I like this part. Stamped in red or printed in red, look like a stamp. Second notice, time sensitive. Ooh, ah. So not only is it important, but it's time sensitive. And those fans of all kinds of time management folks and business gurus and stuff that try and get people to, get motivated and all, they talk about, I think Stephen Covey wrote at least a chapter, if not a whole book about this, and lots of other people, Kiyosaki, I think, and others, about the difference between urgent and important. Something can be important, but not urgent. It's important that you eat the right foods. Might not be urgent, though, because you're in perfectly good health. On the other hand, something might be urgent and not important. Like, hey, the phone rang. Well, that's urgent. Phone's ringing. If you don't pick it up, you miss the call or it goes to voicemail. But who knows if it's important? Could be a telemarketer. Could be a wrong number. Not necessarily important. But when you have something that coincides, where they connect, where it's important and urgent, well then, that should be item A every morning on your to-do list that you do. The first thing every day, you do what's urgent and important. And then you go to what's urgent, maybe less important. Then you're going to go to what's important but not urgent. Those are the major products. It's not a time management seminar here, but anyway. So we got open immediately, time sensitive and important. Ooh, second notice. Could this really be? It can't really be that from that car dealership thing, because that was a once in a lifetime thing. And even by the time I received it or by the time I opened it, who knows? I get my mail once a week. The sale was over. Not that they're not going to have another one all the time, but let's see what this one's all about. I'm intrigued again because they're doing some smart marketing here. They're telling you it's urgent and important, and they're printing on, this costs money, by the way, to have two-color printing instead of one. It costs a lot more than black and white to print on there in red, time-sensitive second notice. It's a trigger for a lot of people that are conditioned to be followers, which is 87% of the country, by the way, are not business owners. They're followers. They work for somebody else. They work for us, the business owners, who tell them when to show up, what to do, how much they make, what their job is like. We get rid of them when we want. We bring them in when we want. We move them when we want. We move the whole company when we want and leave them without a job. This stuff happens all the time. And they still, what do? Do they say, wow, this sucks, I'm going to take control of my own life? No. They say, oh, where's another massa that I can bow down to and do everything he says, and I'll just sell myself to the highest bidder, and it's called a wage slave. So it doesn't have all the, of course, ugly underpinnings of true slavery, of whipping people and owning them and abusing and killing them and all that crap, but it's wage slave. You sell yourself to the highest bidder. So this is, what is that all about? Oh my goodness. I don't, is there some kind of demographic going on? Look at this thing. This is an Arizona citizens only. So my mom, who never set foot in her whole life in the state of Arizona, although she was born in, but she went to college in California. She went to Berkeley. But she, I don't think, ever went to Arizona. She was in Northern California. But it's a 2019 benefit information. So clearly not from my mom, 2019. And what does it say again? You may qualify for a state-regulated program to pay your final expenses. What? So, wow, the other thing I already tossed, like it's time to pre-plan your final expenses, and now we could get something or other. This is a fake government program. This is clearly not a government program. They're just made to look like it is, and once they get your information, they will, of course, send you information on whatever this thing is, but they'll also have your name where they now can market to you all kinds of other stuff for people of a certain age. And all kinds of insurance things would come, and all kinds of, senior assisted living things and homes and all that, scooters that go up the stairs and all that kind of stuff. Plus, they would sell the name to the scooter company and the stair lift company and everybody else. I've fallen and I can't get up, and on and on and on. So, gotta love the reply, the number 9 envelope. That's technically the size number 9 that goes inside the number 10 envelope. Most people know that's number 10 envelope. Like, it's a number 2 pencil. What's number 1? But the reply envelope is a number 9 size. It goes inside the 10. So sorry for the jargon, but the number 9, the reply envelope, look at that. It's addressed to the Direct Mail Processing LLC. You gotta love that. So Direct Mail Monday, we're even sending this back to Direct Mail LLC. Gotta love it. Okay, nice one there. See, they get it opened with all those triggers. Here's another one was interesting. This is at least it's finally something that's addressed properly. Sipress family. There you go. And it says it had the street. I'm gonna publish our private information, but it has the street. So it's our street neighbors in our town. So let's see what that's all about. Something from our neighbors. I'm sure. So how many people, anyone actually believe this is something from one of our neighbors? Well, could be actually. So I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking it's not. And so it is. It's sort of. It's please join us on Nextdoor. Anyone know the website nextdoor.com? You go there and you do join a group of your neighbors in your area. So very cool. Go to Nextdoor. They got the new mover list where we've been here almost 3 months now. In another week, it'll be 3 months. And finally, they're realizing, hey, so a lot of times people will do this with new movers. They'll do a new mover promotion once a quarter. So they'll get 90 days of new mover names. I even was talking to a client recently, brand new client, so messing up a lot of things. But he had, I think, 9 months when he bought a new mover list. 9 months. I'm like, big difference between the new mover in a month and the new mover from 9 months, especially for the service he provides, which I'm not going to give it away. My clients would know who it is, and I'm not going to let anyone disparage a client of mine, so I'll just keep him anonymous. But suffice to say that his service is something people would look for fairly right away upon moving. And so a message to someone who's been there 6 to 9 months would be, hey, have you really not found one of these yet? Well, here I am. But the person who just moved in the first month or two, even 2, is already getting to be too late for his service. You say, like, hey, here's a great offer as a new mover, first week free or whatever. But anyway, they want me to join the online. Now, by the way, this is another reminder to those people that think, internet companies, internet marketing is all. This is an internet, it's a .com company. Nextdoor.com, it's a website. And how are they attracting me to their website? By sending me a Facebook message, Google AdWords, email, spam, social media, no, direct mail, because direct mail works. This is what's known as O2O. They're going to take me from offline with the live piece of paper to online to their website where they'll engage me. So you want to do a lot of that. O to O to O. Take them from online to offline to online, offline, back and forth. If they hit your website, get their mailing address so you can start taking them offline. You can get their phone number. You can call them. You can invite them to a live seminar that you're at. You want to take them from online to offline as soon as you can. And sometimes you want to take them from offline to online, because they can find a lot more information. They can watch videos, that kind of stuff that go online. Next, and this will be it before we get to the special piece. Again, address not to me, but to Page something or other, who I'm going to guess lived here previously. And it is something from a Ford dealership nearby. And this is, again, a pretty, substantial type of mail as opposed to a postcard or stuff we just seen. It's a full color, heavy duty plastic cardstock with a perforated card on it. So they want me to, this is known as an involvement device, and as you can see, I got to get pretty involved. I'm even folding this to get the perforation to work. There we go. I'm going to take out this, and I ripped it. Look at that. I didn't even get the card cleanly out. All right, here we go. Let's get the rest of this card out of here. Oh my goodness. Not a great, maybe it's something to do with mail regulations that you can't really have a serious perforation that might fall apart in the mail and clog their machines and stuff. They're pretty, if anyone's ever done direct mail with some fancy out-of-the-box pieces, you might have heard that from your local postmaster. We can't take that. It's going to jam the machines, blah, blah, blah. But okay, I finally got it off. And it's a card for whoever that person is. And if I get it, oh, that's her car. Check it out. So they know that she had, I like that. This is what's known as variable printing. She must have bought a car from this, or a truck, Ford Edge. Is that a car, truck? I don't know. She bought a Ford Edge from this Ford dealership, and it now has, it's since the 2011, they're ready to buy it back, and they will give her, really? Kelley Blue Book value? Look at that. This is really smart. This is well done. They're telling you the Kelley Blue Book value is $72.74, but they will give you $92.74. They're going to give you an extra $2,000 more than your car is worth if you come in and buy a new one. So if you ask me, they're going through their database and they're saying who bought a car 7 years ago. That means it's paid off. But they're thinking, hey, all the time, every time they get in it probably, should I get a new car or truck? And so, and there it says, I could have read this too. It says we're in desperate need. Oh, it's a good one. See, so they're trying to convince her that they're giving a reason why. This is known as reason why in your marketing. And by the way, almost everything I say on Direct Mail Monday is appropriate for all your marketing. You want it when you're giving a discount, or in this case, a special bonus. You want to give a reason why. You don't just want to say, we are so desperate for business because we're such a sucky company that we'll give you a discount. That's not what you want to do. You want to say, turn the tables and say, we're giving a discount because we're so great. And that's what they're saying here. Because we're in desperate need of 2011. So I can't even get through the sentence without cracking up. Is there possibly a dealership in the world, well, not in the world, in the U.S., that is in desperate need of 7-year-old Ford Edges? There's such a run. There's so many people busting down the doors. I mean, we open the door every morning, and there's so many people compiling in, going, "Hey, I need a 7-year-old Ford Edge. I don't even get it. I don't know if it's a car or truck, but I need that. Where is it? Come on, you got to do something to get them. You got to put together a full color piece with a perforated card and get it to everyone in your database that has one of those, and give them an extra $2,000 to bring it in because I really want to buy that car for $3,000 more than book value." I mean, the whole again, it's a trigger because the whole concept is, when you think about it for 1 second, is so far-fetched. They're giving $2,000 over book value. They really think there's so many people. They want you to believe there's so many people coming in to buy this 7-year-old Ford something that they will pay $3,000 over book value for it. So they'll give you $2,000 or $2,500 or whatever, or even just $2,000 because they'll make money on the financing. So maybe even $15,000. They'll lose $500 on the sale because they'll make it on the financing, which is, by the way, what they're looking to do with Paige, whatever her name is. They're looking to get her to come on in and get another car payment, so that even if when they give the extra $2,000 for the car or truck, they'll make that back big time on all the financing charges, and then maybe if she services the car or truck there, or gets a upgraded pinstriping, or undercoating and all that kind of crap, or fancy wheels or whatever, they make more money. So they have a 3-day buyback event where you can sign and ride in a new 2018 Fusion SE or Escape 5. Maybe one's a car, one's a truck, or this SUV type of thing. I don't know. And maybe that's an Edge. Okay, who knows? Oh, does somebody know? No, I thought maybe somebody was saying, "Hey, dummy, it's a whatever." And so I like this stuff. 0 do it signing, 0 first month payment, 0 down. In other words, just sign and drive, right? Do they say that? Sign and ride. Maybe I even read that already, but sign and ride, sign and drive, sign and ride. It's like, just come on in. All you got to do is sign. You have good credit, of course. That's what there'll be some, there it is. Wow. There's an awful lot of legalese, mumbo jumbo, weasel clause requirements and conditions. And I'm sure, I don't have my glasses, I can't even begin. This is in like 2-point type. Like, give me a break. They could have said call for details or hit the website. That's where you take them online. You say hit the website for details. By the way, just for taking a test drive, and here, once again, here it's time, money, value, right? You get a $10 Visa card with a test drive. Now, let's just say I even made minimum wage, which is it around $10? It must be, flipping burgers or whatever. Although, of course, you hear the idiot, some idiot progressive cities in America think those people are worth 15, so the restaurants just leave town and go out of business, and now people have no job. But anyway, I digress. Let's say they're making $10 an hour. It's going to take more than an hour to go over the dealership, get in a test drive. You don't think you're going to walk up and go, "Hi, I'm here for a test drive, and I want my Visa card," and they go, "Here are the keys, let's go." It's going to be, what do you like in a car? Do you have a family? This and that. What's your previous, blah, blah. They're going to sell you a car. They're not just going to take you right for a test drive. But even if it took 20 minutes to get to this place, 20 minutes to the test, 20 minutes back, it's an hour. And it's tough to think that that's worth $10 for anybody to go out there. And as soon as it becomes an hour and a half, now it's already not worth the $10. And yet, watch people say, wow, I'm so desperate for $10. Oh, and then another smart thing, all kinds of good stuff going on here. You have won one of these prizes. Either $30,000 cash. What are the odds of that? Not likely. However, again, some people are like, I don't care if it's a 1 in a whatever chance. I might win $30,000. I can't throw this out. Could be worth $30,000. $7,500, $5,000 scratch ticket. $5,000 scratch ticket. That probably means it's a scratch ticket with a chance to win $5,000. It's actually a piece of paper worth nothing. $2,500 scratch ticket. $2,000 cash. $2,000 cash. I think everybody wins $2,000 cash towards a new car, towards an upgrade. Nah, probably not. $500. They probably all win this. A $10. That's a supermarket around here, a Fry supermarket, or a Fry electronics store. I don't even know. See, I don't even know what the stores are. But it's $10 gift card, a shopping card to a retail store, and that's undoubtedly what 99.9% of people win. But when you do something like that, you do the math, and of course, when you have an actual winner, you get all the photos taken with you, do the press release, you put it out in your newsletter, you put it on the website, you put it all over the place that, hey, so and so came in, brought in our thing, and won $5,000 or whatever. So next time this hits, you better come on in and bring it in and blah, blah, blah. So it's a 3-day event, and it's Friday the 24th, which is the coming Friday. So this one I did receive in time. Oh, and there, I like this part. You got to stop in and scratch off, match your number. You don't scratch it, you match your number. So here's my number. Again, variable printing. I'm guessing that is really my number. And the winning numbers are posted at the dealership. So I got to come in. So it's doing a real good job of getting me to come in. Various reasons. Test drive gets me $10 just by coming in and seeing this number. I get $10 for a retail store, and maybe they can sell me and give me $2,000 over the current, which they do explain there. You're going to get your vehicle's in high demand. You're going to get as much as $2,000 over. As much as. The card clearly says 2,000, so maybe that's where the variable printing. Mine might have said 1,000, and so they're clarifying to say as much as. Anyway, we spent a lot of time on this piece, but I love pieces like this. It's got the involvement with the little card. It's full color. It's heavy duty plastic. It stands out from the irregular stuff. It screams this is more important than a regular piece. I spent a lot of money on this piece. You got to come in. I'm just questioning the old. We're desperate in need of 7-year-old Ford Edges. Really? Anyway, I like it. And finally, let's get to the pièce de résistance. Spoke to a friend of mine who I haven't seen in probably, 7 or 8 years maybe, who is a direct mail aficionado, guru, expert himself, and does a ton of direct mail. And so we're having a conversation. I use this thing that a client uses with me that I never knew existed. You go on Facebook, and he had seen one of my videos on Facebook, and he sent me a Facebook message. Hey, long time. We should catch up sometime and do a call. He's like, through a Zoom or Skype or whatever he said. Stuff that when I've installed these things and they seem to slow down my computer so much and crash, and I'm like, I just don't do them. I'm like, or I know there's a way to do it right here in this Facebook message because a client does it with me. I just don't know. Or he first says, well, you know more tech than I do. So I don't know. I have teams of people that do all the tech stuff. I know it exists. I know how to make money with it. I'm not a big expert on wasting my time figuring out how to do tech stuff. It's changing all the time. I stick to the overall strategies and the formulas, and let somebody else learn and keep up with all the tech. But anyway, I'm like, I know it was something on here, and sure enough, I see a little picture of a video camera. So if you don't know, you do a Facebook message, a little picture on the top of a video camera. I click on it, sure enough, or I hovered on it and said, hey, do a call right now, a video call or something. He said, you know what, I'm going to do that then. And suddenly the phone's ringing, my computer's ringing, and there he is calling. So we were on for longer than we both should have. I know we both had more work to do for clients, but we were on for about an hour or two catching up. It's always great to catch up with a great friend. And I know, it was my video I did on Throwback Thursday, where I showed a picture, it looks right over there, of Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. And he was like, wow, Eugene Schwartz, one of my favorites, blah, blah, blah. Because, of course, if you're a marketer, you've read that book 10 times and you implement everything in it that you can. And so he sent me right away with an email, or somehow he sent me a couple of audios of rare interviews of Gene Schwartz by Greg Arbor. I think he calls himself the $1 million Marketing Man or something like that, whatever. So that's cool. I'll listen to those. And then he said, I am right here putting something, what's your mailing address? So he said, I'm going to mail you something. And there it is. Just arrives a couple of days later because it's priority mail. Right there it is. So, for $6-7, you get this right to somebody. And he said, I could send you the PDFs of this, but we both know that's no fun. I'm going to send you the actual physical something. And I'm like, I want it. He had it in his hands on the video thing on the Facebook, and I'm like, man, I want it. So the lesson is, that's you and your prospects. That's you and your customers, your clients, your patients, your members. Use direct mail. Send them some mail. This isn't technically known as direct mail. This is mail. Use the mail to send them some stuff, and to get added bonus points, let them know you're sending it. Send them an email or a text message, or in this case, a Facebook chat or a message or whatever, saying, hey, I'm sending you something. So I had all this anticipation over the weekend. I'm getting something cool from Derek Freund. By the way, I didn't even mention his name. His name is Derek Freund right there, and that's where you can connect with him. Derek Freund of marketingsystems.com, Brighton, Michigan. Derek Freund, master of direct mail. If you don't like me and you want to do direct mail, contact him. So let's see the incredibly cool thing that I know it's cool because I already enjoyed the whole weekend just anticipating and thinking about it. Oh, looks like he put some tape over the thing and to hold it closed, and caused me some more anticipation because it's tough to even open the thing with this tape on it. Now I could use the trusty Rhino letter opener. However, it's plastic and it just might break. So I'm just going to go to the trusty old scissors and cut this baby right open. And down the side, there we go. And holy cramoly, this is just looking cool. It's a big book. What? Oh, man. There it is. Breakthrough Advertising. Is this the book, or is it a workbook, or it's another copy of the book? Only this one is pristine, doesn't have highlighting for me on every page. How cool is that? So he sent me a copy of the book in a larger, I guess more easy to read format. And, I know I didn't show it in my video because I was shooting it on my iPhone, holding it with one hand. But if you, towards the back of the book, I'll just show you. Towards the back of this great book is all kinds of examples right there from the great Eugene Schwartz of winning direct mail pieces. And so he talks about them throughout the book, and you can go in and this is what's known as a swipe file, because all great creators of anything don't start with a blank page or a blank slate or a blank anything. They are students of their industry and their craft, and they start with what somebody else has done. If they're writing a song, they've certainly listened to all kinds of other songs. You can always ask every great songwriter, hey, who are your influences? You can ask every guitar player, who are your influences? They'll name their guitar players that are their influence, and their guitar playing will be similar to that, or their drumming, or their singing, or their songwriting, or their book writing. You could ask Stephen King, who's your influences? So he's copying the structure and the pacing of modeling it from the great author. And you can do the same, and you should do the same with your advertising and your marketing. And here's all kinds of stuff. And I got dozens of books with all kinds of swipe, and then I got all kinds of stuff. And the stuff that you see me toss is crap, but the good stuff, you see that I keep it, and that becomes part of my swipe file. And I can use that for stuff I do for clients, and they'll keep knowing, I was going to say thinking, but they'll keep realizing that I'm a genius. I keep making money. But the secret is that, not much of a secret, I tell everybody all the time that I just told you, that I don't start from scratch. That'd be crazy. In fact, how could I honestly take the client's money and then just whip something up from scratch that I don't know it's ever worked before? That's crazy. I can do that with my own stuff. Most business owners do. You don't hire someone like me. You do everything on your own, and you lose a lot of money, and you place ads that don't work, and you put out Facebook ads that don't work, and you online stuff doesn't work, offline stuff doesn't work, you do stuff that doesn't work. But you get someone like me, a pro, and we're going to swipe and model and copy from stuff that works, tweak it a little. We understand why it works. Before you start tweaking, you got to understand why it works. You got to understand what the purpose of this paragraph is, so you can tweak it for your particular situation or your client's situation. Otherwise, you just haphazardly, like I did in the beginning, I just thought I haphazardly tweaked stuff before I knew what I was doing, and it's what we call neutering the ad, neutering the marketing, cutting the balls right off it. It just didn't work. So you got to get to a pro or become a pro. You can do it like I did. You can take years and spend tons of money and go to all the seminars and travel all around and pay big money to lots of experts to coach and guide you and get all the materials, and then go through the ups and downs and the what worked and what doesn't work and the trial by error, and finally get really good at it. Or you can just hire somebody. Get Derek, get me, get somebody, get anybody that knows what they're doing. They'll get you off the bang up start, as long as you don't neuter it, which is what a lot of clients do. They just go, oh yeah, no, I'm going to do my own thing, or that I don't think that'll work for me. And I'm not all consultants. We hear that all the time. So we're used to it, and it's unfortunate, because if they just listen to us, they'll say ridiculous things. In fact, like, well, that's unlike anything we've ever done before. And I'm like, no kidding, guy. That's why you hired me, right? If you just want to do the same crap that's not working that you've always done, you don't need me. Like, of course you brought me on to do stuff you've never done before. But rest assured, it's not that nobody's done it before. Sharp marketers have done it before for over 100 years. I got over 100 years of swipe stuff here that's worked and always worked, and it always will work. And breakthrough advertising is one of those. So thank you, Derek. And I will now thank him when I end this video. And thank you all for being here on Direct Mail Monday. I don't see any of the questions, comments, concerns. Possibly some are coming in on the replay. Post them. I always respond when appropriate. And I'll be back tomorrow with another daily Facebook Live video. I record one every day for you. Tomorrow is Topical Tuesday, so I take something that's in the news, something topical, something that's happening, and I give my take on that. And usually there's a business lesson or two in there somewhere, and I hope you'll join me then. Thanks for being here today. I got to click this twice. Over and out. Bye-bye.